Let's get started. This is the eighth community stand up already. We are co hosting, and this time we're having the Mellow Protocol team on stage. And basically, the whole idea about behind this event is to get a better sense of how projects who are using Guild are working, how they are, doing in the moment, what kind of spicy details we can get from them from the new improvements. And then also we just want to touch on how we can improve their guild, the team's guild that's actually on the stage at the moment. So let's get started. What are you saying?
Yeah, sure. So let me then just start and say a couple of words about ourselves and about what we are doing. So, hi everyone, and my name is Nick. We're building the Mellow protocol. Also, we have Alex here. He's my co-founder and our CTO. It's great to join this community stand-up today, and thanks to the Guild team for inviting us. I also wanted to point out that we enjoy using Guild a lot in our community, and it's really great product. We're building Mellow protocol. It's the permissionless system for active on-chain liquidity management. On my side, I'm working on the operations, BD, and product. Previously, I was working in finance and big tech before crypto, and I'm in the space since late 2016. I was working on some projects, including the system with the nodes for with infrastructure for Ethereum and some other projects. And Alex had a great background in tech and finance. So I think we can start with some product details and discuss what we are doing, what kind of strategies we propose, how the protocol works. And I think Alex will give some more details on this part. So Alex, please go ahead.
I cannot hear you, Alex. Actually, I'm really curious about this because as a non-tech person, I always love to have, like DeFi projects on stage so I can actually get a better sense of what you are doing exactly. And also the audience can, understand it who is not yet in your community or, contributing to your project.
Yeah, maybe then I can start, and when Alex will check the connection, then maybe he will add some more details. So yeah, basically we're building the system for active liquidity management. It consists of several major parts. The first part is the vaults contracts that integrate with other protocols. We also have the system that orchestrates all these vaults, and we have the strategies contracts that implement different math models for managing the liquidity. And we also have on our side the execution that works with our vault system. The system is also permissionless, so everyone can come and build their strategies on top of Mellow. And right now we have both the strategies built on our side and the strategies built by other teams. We have the strategies, different kinds of strategies. We have some strategies that are more focused on yield generating. It's more retail focused strategies, and we also have the strategies that are built more for the protocols. Those are the strategies that manage the pools on the DEXs. And there are also different types of those strategies because we have the strategies that work with correlated assets and the strategies which work with volatile pairs. On this part, we have a lot of different integrations. It can be different DEXs like Uniswap, QuickSwap, Kyber, or other DEXs. We also have the integrations for the leverage with Gearbox and with some other protocols. And the main idea behind the protocol is to build some kind of integration layer for DeFi that already has the infrastructure that can be used by anyone to work with major protocols and to build the strategies much faster. So that's what we're building. And also, right now we're working on version 2 of the protocol. Version 2 of the protocol will be something that will make all the system much more robust and also will make the integration process much faster. Because right now for us, the new integration takes something around 1 or 2 weeks if you want to integrate the new protocol for some type of the strategy. And with the next version, we hope that this will be the matter of like several days or even several hours. So that's what we're working on right now. Let's check maybe if Alex is also. Oh, Alex disconnected. Maybe he's trying to reconnect.
Yes,
Okay.
he's reconnected.
Yeah. And
Then I
for
have a question.
Yeah, of course.
I'm really interested. I'm really curious about your thoughts about, because you said the layers are already, existing and all these things, and I'm just really curious about like how do you view the current state of DeFi? Like, what role do you see like actually Mellow protocol is playing in shaping its future?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of great protocols right now in the ecosystem, and I think the whole DeFi becomes more complex. And the goal for us is to simplify the use of DeFi for the end users, because the strategies that we are implementing, they're pretty complex, and they work with complex products. And we make the product that should help every user to use all these complex systems without going deep inside under the hood. So that's one of the main goals for us. And for the builders, it's the system that can help to make the development process of the strategies much faster, straightforward. And those developers who want to build some kind of strategy, they won't need to implement all the infrastructure to integrate with the protocols. They can just use our Vault system and implement only the strategy part, so only the model that they want to use for liquidity management.
Interesting, really interesting what you are saying. Basically, when you just said like how complex it's getting, like how more and more, the complexity is just growing, and with all this complexity and making it more, easily usable for the users, like with all this, how do you actually ensure like the security and the whole reliability of your ecosystem? Do you have any measures in place where, to protect user funds and all these things?
Yes, of course. On our side, the protocol itself, the core of the protocol is also the security layer, and it's a part of the system that gets some restrictions for the strategy to make it more robust. And using the Vault system, the strategy can't do anything bad for the user or for the liquidity. And the core part of the protocol, it's audited by chain security and by BlockSec. So when you use Mellow protocol for building the strategy, you can build the strategy the way that the whole system will protect you from losing funds. This is one of the goals that we have, and it's already in our current implementation.
Got you. Yeah, actually, security and reliability is a really big point for, for any kind of project that you are building, and especially if we are talking about DeFi. So I was really curious about this one.
Got it. Yeah, so in terms of the security, I think for the next version of the protocol, we will also have the code base that will be much simpler, and this will make everything even more robust than we have right now. But anyway, the system right now is not the thing that can be hacked in terms of the strategies, because every time you use the strategy, and every time the strategy makes any actions, the Vault system checks if all the states, all the parameters are correct, and if they are not, the transaction just wouldn't work.
Totally makes sense this way. I hope everyone in the audience also understand it and familiar. If you are not familiar with Mellow protocol yet, or any the security things that we've been talking about, I'm highly recommending you to check out their Twitter. I even saw that on Twitter you were leaking some things. I saw Alex was tweeting about the new design for oracles that you are having for the upcoming upgrade. So I'm suggesting everyone to just check out the sneak peeks. I was checking in the back if everything is okay. But maybe we're gonna go and continue this conversation, just the two of us.
Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, let us check. Maybe Alex tries to raise hands here in Discord because I think he's connected somewhere.
I was checking our DMs and I can see that unfortunately he cannot join today.
Okay.
There's something with Discord, unfortunately. Yeah, we're gonna get going.
Yeah,
It
okay,
won't be
let's just go ahead.
Yes. So basically, thank you so much for this. Speaking of Twitter, I just wanted to say something. I just wanted to highlight something. I just wanted to say big congrats to the latest strategy release that you had. It was a month ago. Would you share some words about that one also?
Yes, of course. Those were the strategies that we built for Lido. And these are the strategies for managing the liquidity for wrapped staked ETH on Uniswap. So one of them is for pair wrapped staked ETH to ETH. It's for correlated pair, and another one is the strategy for managing the volatile pair with the USDC. These strategies are incentivized with the LDO tokens, and we see pretty much liquidity going to these strategies. We're the thing that we're working right now is the update on one of these strategies to make it more capital efficient. So I think somewhere next week we're going to release the updated Pulse strategy for Lido, and I think we'll also have pretty good incentives in LDO tokens there.
Okay, that's really good to hear. Like you are sharing the alpha now with us. So stay tuned, everyone in the audience. It's happening. Is it coming then next week? You planning?
Somewhere next week or then the week after, but I think this will be next week.
Super. Thank you so much for this part. I would love to jump on your community part because this is something that I feel like more familiar and more, familiar in this space. So I'm really curious to know more about, your approach of community building. So if you're okay, we can get going with this and cover your experience. Super. So basically what your community is actually like a pure DeFi community. And can you describe your entire community, your members? Like, what do you think? What makes it unique in the space?
Yeah, I think in terms of the community, we have really different people. And I think we already have some contributors who actively discuss different things about the protocol and use the protocol itself. We really appreciate the users who are getting involved in what we are doing. And I think we have several core directions that we want to evolve in our community. So the first one is the core users, the liquidity providers who use the strategies. And these are the people who are mainly interested in putting the liquidity to work in some protocols. So we provide the strategies, we provide the details on how everything works, how what's under the hood of the strategies, and all the details. Another part is builders and other protocols. So this is the builders core who are going to build something on top of Mellow to build the products that will be used by their users or by our community. We already have this type of product built by other team. It's the strategies built by Volt's protocol. And these strategies are aiming to simplify the use of their protocol for LPing because they have pretty complex technology, and it's used by very sophisticated users who understand all the details. And using the strategies, it becomes easier for everyone to use the protocol itself for liquidity providing. And I think this can be a really good use case for other protocols. And also, we're interested in everyone who is interested in technology that we're building and who wants to know more about the protocol, about the math behind the scenes, or discuss the strategies for liquidity management. I think this three types of users in our community is like the core audience. So one of our goals is to simplify sophisticated LPing strategies for the users. And we really love to see the people using the products and asking questions because this helps a lot to build better products. And when we are getting some feedback, it's always very helpful because we already have implemented some things that were just suggested by our community, and we want to expand this experience.
As far as I understand it, is your community is pretty DeFi heavy, and I'm really curious about this. Do you have any part of your community where people are just coming there, they are interested, but they are not, experts in your world and in
Yes,
your space?
definitely. We have really DeFi heavy community, and I think this is also because of how we started the community. I think I can say later a couple of words about how this was happening.
Yeah,
But
I
we
would.
also have some people in our community who are curious about what we are doing, and they're just asking some questions on how the strategy works or something like this. Yeah.
Is there any opportunity for them to get more involved, get more, education and onboarding into, deep into DeFi in your space, or how does it work right now?
Yeah, we already tried to do some things in this direction. We made some quizzes, we made some educational materials on 101, and I think we will be doing some more educational things in the space to explain people how everything works on the side of our protocol and also in DeFi in general. Even when we just started and when we were going to launch the protocol, we had a long read on Medium about LPing on Uniswap with lots of details, math, and charts that explains how the whole thing works when you work with Uniswap in terms of the LPing.
Education is really essential, especially when you are building a community. And what I think every community builder has to keep in mind is whenever you are educating your community, it's never ending with your onboarding process. So it's always you need to take care of the people who are, interested in your project and in your field, and they want to, get more involved and take a bigger slice of the project that you are working on and to contribute. But also as a community builder, I would say it's really, really important to just, keep up to date with your old timers and with people who are already your contributors. But there's always like, an opportunity to get more and more involved. So there's an
Yeah,
extra
definitely.
on that one.
Definitely,
And
and we are preparing the content for different people in our community, and we're also going. I think later we will make maybe some kind of video explainers or some more details on how everything works because it's not always easy to explain the things in terms of math behind the protocol, and it's much easier. It becomes much easier when you can make some kind of illustrations.
And how does it work? Do you have any contributors who are helping you with, content creation, or is it mainly your, core team?
It's partly the core team, but we also have some contributors that help us to prepare some materials. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
these are just the people from the community who reached us out and they just started doing some things that were meaningful, and we really appreciate this help. So this is really great. And I think it's great that we see that community is getting really involved, not only in terms of the use of the protocol, but also as a part of the building team.
Yeah, that's important is when you are not only, having your users, having your members getting involved in the project, but they are, getting involved in the community and, you know, you just encourage them to create this sense of belonging and sense of, like helping one another, which is really important. So this is really great, actually, if you have already contributors. Can you share some words, some sentences about like how it actually started? When you didn't have the contributors yet, you were just, starting as a smaller team. How was it?
Yeah, for us, it was more on working with other already established communities. And when we were launching the protocol, we were aiming for the users who already work in DeFi for some time and very close to what the protocols are already doing. So we had a whitelist at the start. We started it with Lobster DAO and Digins Core. So we whitelisted the users who had Lobster DAO NFTs and Digins Core beacons. And I think those were the people who were in our community from the start. After that, we at the same time we launched the integration of our Discord with Guild just to mark the users, and then we started some more experiments with some quizzes for the whitelist. We also had the Galaxy campaign, 101 campaigns, and I think we will just continue experimenting and evolving all these things about the community. And as you mentioned, it's really important for us to educate the community and show what's happening.
You just mentioned now some integrations and some use cases, like guild use cases. And I'm just really curious about this one. Have you started your community out on Discord or have you ever tried Telegram also?
We started Discord. We had a Telegram group at the start, but it was closed, and we decided to go all into Discord because it's much easier to structure the conversations in Discord.
Yeah, it makes sense. They say that Telegram is more for, more intimate kind of communities who are, having like a smaller group of, audience. So I get your point. And since you started growing and actually you already have like over 1,000 members already, right?
I think it's already maybe close to 10,000.
10,000, but 1,000 in your guild,
Oh
as far
yeah,
as
yeah,
I
yeah,
know. Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry,
That's
I,
correct.
I forgot that about that part. So you already have like 1,000 and 10,000 there. So now it's time to, funnel them into your guild and actually have them to become your guild members also. Do you have
Yeah, of
any,
course.
talking about your, like covering your experiences, do you have any, best practices on growth? Like, how do you actually foster a sense of connection among your community members? Let's just say on Discord, for example. Do you have any particular activities or events?
Yeah, so from the start, it was a bit chaotic, and we tried different tools and approaches to involve the community. And I think the best way is just to make a good product and create a content around the product itself. And also, I think it's great to work as close as possible with different communities and try to explain what you're doing, what's the reason for them to come to your community and start contributing or discussing some topics. We're right now shifting some more focus on the community, and we're going to make some more public activities. So I think for the community, it's almost the real start right now for us. And we're trying to structure everything, what we are doing. And pretty soon we're going to roll out the community program with some more details on how everything will work in our community in Discord and in general.
So new announcements, big things are coming in the community side, as far as I understand you. There's more.
That's correct.
Yes. Do you have any, for example, examples for that, like how your community actually has been involved in shaping the direction of development of Mellow? Like
Yeah,
how
of course.
the community participated in it?
We had really great cases in these terms, and we had lots of feedback from the users since the start. So some of the suggestions were already implemented, and as an example, when we launched the strategies for three positions management, we had a feedback on the representation of the current strategy status. Because for us, it was very obvious how the interval looks like, and we didn't think that we really need to represent this somehow in the strategy. And when we got some feedback from the community, we added the beautiful charts with those details on the current position and rebalance triggers. And I think this just made all the strategy much more transparent for the users. And this is one of the examples. Another example is that from the developer perspective, we also had a bunch of the suggestions on the integration side with our Vault system. And we're already implementing some ideas from this conversation in version 2 of the protocol. And this should make the work with the protocol much simpler. So I think the developers will see this in several months when we will start rolling out the next version of the protocol. So we're going to continue working closely with the community, and we're always very happy to get as much feedback as possible.
Yeah, it's really, really important actually when you are building with the community and you want to create a project for them to actually fit to their use case. So you want to make the most out of your product also, not only for yourself, but for them. So it's really great to hear that you are incorporating their feedback, their suggestions into your project. And I'm just really curious, like, as far as I understand it, then you are building it publicly, right?
Yes, that's
Do you
correct.
have, by any chance, like a roadmap that others can look at? They can see like how you are doing with the different tasks and where
We don't
the
have the public roadmap yet, but I think this is a great idea to make this public, and I think we will just discuss this internally with the team, and it would be great to incorporate this and to make the public roadmaps with the development timelines and directions and some features, some major features that are going to be released. And I think this will help to discuss the future product and maybe add some more ideas to what we are doing.
Yes, I can just recommend it. I highly recommend it for you. At Guild, at the very beginning, we had a roadmap, a public roadmap, but basically we were using it for a space, just a page where people can actually come and share their feedback and suggestions. And what was really good about that one, I can, send it to you afterwards. What was really good about that kind of roadmap, it wasn't that we were working on something and we are putting it out there. It's whenever they have a feedback or a suggestion, they can upvote it. So we could see this like someone suggested, making the allo lists private or anything like this. And then just 30 people just voted on it. Like, yeah, they wanted it and they left comments there. And for us as a team, it was really good to just actually see like what kind of directions, actually the outside of our project is seeing.
Yeah, I think this will also be a part of the DAO. So right now we don't have the public DAO, but we're going to launch it also maybe in several months. And when we will have the DAO, we will start the public research forum where all the ideas can be discussed. So this definitely will be done, and we're going as fast as possible to the state when we will be ready to launch the DAO, and this will be. I think this will be very helpful for the protocol.
Interesting. And what would you say? What's going to be the biggest difference if you're launching a DAO, considering like how your community is actually now with the whole structure? What's going to be
Yeah,
the
I
biggest?
think the DAO will make the process of development and the protocol much more transparent. And I think we will start the process of working closer with the developers through the DAO. So right now, when someone wants to build on top of Mellow, he definitely can do this by himself. But usually, we make some suggestions or calls to help to get started. And I think, and also we're getting the feedback and some feature requests directly. And I think this will be much better when we will be able to start the DAO and the developer teams will be able to make some kind of discussions in the DAO about what they need from the protocol or what they're going to implement, and it will be easier for us to help the developers.
Absolutely. That makes sense. So basically, you will bring the developers like closer to your core contributors and your core users, the power users of Mellow.
Yes, that's one of the goals for the DAO.
And it's coming in few months, as you said, right?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe something around like late summer or beginning of the autumn. So that's the goal for us right now.
Super. Keep us posted. We want to know it. We want to know it for
Definitely.
sure. Thank you so much for this section also. And do you have anything else that you wanted to add to the community side, whether you have any future plans you want to share with us about your community building tips and tricks?
Yeah, I think I can just maybe recap a little bit that we can make a short teaser that we're going to launch the new community program. And we're working right now on the community activities, and this program will cover different aspects like spreading the word about the protocol and getting more people to know about our product. And at the same time, we'll definitely try to gather more feedback on the strategies, and we'll make some more activities for those who are already using the protocol and the strategies themselves. And on the side of developers, we'll create separate groups where more technical questions can be raised and where the developers would be able to get the faster response. And we'll definitely use Guild for shaping this program.
Perfect. Perfect TLDR. I love it. Can you just share, like, you just mentioned the new program for the community and the news about the developers. Can you share, like, how one can learn, more about Mellow and join your community? Like, what's the best way to get, a better sense?
Yeah, I think the best way is to join the Discord, to join the guild, and ask the questions about the protocol. Take a look at what we have in our dApp. Check the strategies, the descriptions, because we have a lot of materials there. From the developer perspective, we have the public GitHub and the documentation. So this is the greatest point to start, and we're always here to help and to discuss any questions. If you go to our Discord, you'll see the questions that we're discussing with the developers. Just feel free to reach us out, and we're always here.
Super, thank you. In the meantime, you were saying it. I was sharing actually 3 links in the event stage chat. So if you're curious about Mellow Protocol and you want to join their community and the project, just go ahead. I shared the guild link. I shared your website and also your Twitter. The only thing that is missing from here, and if you have it in front of you, I would appreciate the GitHub, your open GitHub.
Oh yeah, of course. I will share the link. Just a second.
Super. Thank you so much for the TLDR, talking about your protocol and the community, like what your goals actually are. Because now, like hearing these and knowing these things, like what are your plans, what are you currently doing, it's easier for me to just get a better sense of like how we could, maximize your guild and how we could make the most out of it. So I just wanted to include just a few minutes of sharing some suggestions as like community builder to community builder about your guild. So what I wanted to share, I'm gonna start really easy, and then we can go into the. Oh, thank you so much for the link. In the meantime, I just want to start really quick. So I checked your guild and I saw that you already have your PFP, you already have your descriptions and even the background picture. So +1 on that one. And what I wanted to say is, as since you have more roles, I would highly recommend you to just create more, PFPs and edit them, just upload them. And for example, have one kind of symbol for the Mellow members and the Mellow admirers. And I know that like these roles are also on Discord, so they can even be a match. And for example, I highly recommend it to everyone, like who is managing a Discord, but it's really cool because in the Discord server settings, actually you can set it up. I don't know if you know about it. I just figured it out recently. You can just get a role icon. So for example, if you set up something,
that's
you're
great.
Oh, it's really good. I love it. It's really amazing. It's like whenever someone is texting, for example, someone's, icon is like a sword or anything. And once they are texting a message, like you're gonna see it there. So you don't even have to click, on their page, like on their, profile, like what kind of roles they have. So you can actually have it. And it can be the totally same to the one that you have in your Discord and in your guild also. So it was the first one that I wanted to share. And let's get into, the requirements. You mentioned it already that you just created a training course. You were using 101. And I just wanted to give you a heads up about this. Like, unfortunately, 101 is not available anymore, which we are really sad about because it was something that we used also for educating our community members. So currently you have one role which has the 101 requirement there to qualify. And I can give you an example like how to do a workaround. So people who already already completed that 101 course, they're not going to lose the role by if you just go to your guild and as a guild admin, you just scroll down and you can see one button there, which is export members. And if you just select the role, which has the 101 requirement with, attached to it, then you just copy those wallet addresses. You're going to get everyone's addresses, whoever completed that 101. And if you will come up with another idea, like how to, get the education going and what kind of other requirements you can choose for that, for example, a galaxy or anything like this, you can just mix two different kind of requirements. So first, when you just download and export these members' addresses, you can just simply put them on an LO list. And for example, if you come up with another option, another idea for the requirements, you can just put one allo list for the ones who already, educated, already completed, or you can have the other option, which is going to be the new one, if it makes sense this way.
Yeah, this definitely makes sense, and we'll definitely do this. So this is a great suggestion, and we will do all these things.
I would love to help you. So if there's anything, you can hit me up. We can manage it together. So it's all good. I just want to jump on.
Thank you. Actually, I'm very impressed on how the guild team is responsive, and we always, when we had some questions, it was like a matter of minutes when he answered.
We are trying our best. Basically, thank you. It's a really good feedback for us also because it feels good, to hear it. Like people actually realize it and feel it because we are actually here. Like that's why we are here to, to help you to make the most out of Guild. And, if we see anything, we can just report it for you. You can report back anything. So it's all good. We are here for you guys. So basically, after there was one more thing that we talked about already, which was you mentioned that you were posting announcements and posts on Medium, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I would like to just suggest you for some options for PR reasons. If you would like to, get more PR in your community, in your guild, I would just suggest you to use any kind of mirror requirement, because I don't know if you know about this, but now on Mirror it's available to, subscribe and then mint an NFT for that, and even include the NFT in your article that you just posted. And what is good about it is on Guild you can actually set those NFTs, as requirements. And also, if we are talking about PR, there's one more which I would highly recommend you, which is basically the lens integration. There is like a lot of kind of options. We have whether, the types, whether you have a lens profile, you follow someone, you just collected a post, or you are actually followed by someone. So there's like, a bunch of different options. And actually, I just want to give you one example. I will just post it here in the chat because we are using it with Guild and we just experienced a really good, I mean, we had a really good experience with, the PR and with all the reactions to our feeds. So I'm highly recommending you to start using it. I don't know if you
Yeah,
guys
we will.
have
Yeah.
a profile. Do you have it for your project also, or how is it?
We have the lens handle, but we didn't start actively using it. But we're going to do this. And in terms of the mirror, we also we were going to switch the content to mirror from Medium, and I think for the next articles we will already do this.
I can just, recommend it for you because I was talking with others recently and everybody was telling me like they are shifting, for example, to Mirror from Medium. And I was before like team Medium, but now I'm starting to, feel the value behind the new updates with Mirror, with the subscriptions and the NFTs. So yeah, highly recommend it.
Yeah, we will definitely give it a try, and thanks a lot for all these suggestions. That's really very, very helpful.
Sure thing, sure thing. I mentioned earlier just one more thing before we wrap up to give you some examples. And I just want to show you, for example, or talk about like how, for example, Hope Protocol is doing it. Oh yeah, I'm just reading a comment. Someone is also highly recommending you to switch to Mirror. I just want to talk about, for example, one use case, which is basically the whole protocol, like how they are using it. So there's two things that I saw at their guild, and I would highly recommend you to check it out. One is they actually have one role for liquidity providers. Basically, they are using different kind of ERC20 tokens with or options. And also, this is more for, the DeFi part and the more tokenized part of the community building. And also, there was one more thing that I wanted to highlight is the whole protocol is actually just doing community calls where they are distributing POAPs. And they are distributing POAPs by Guild XYZ. And what they are doing every single time, they are holding a community call. And once, someone is minting a POAP, they are actually getting a role for that POAP. So they set up POAP requirements for everyone who, ever attended a community call. And this is how they are, like giving more, attention to those roles also. So if someone ever went to their calls and someone ever supported them by that way, they are giving them that extra attention. So these two I wanted to mention about Hope Protocol.
Yeah,
And
this
I
is
just
a great idea, and we always we also attend some conferences sometimes, and we're sharing some pops there. So this can be also the case. So for the people who we met in person someday, and I think we also can make some roles for that. That would be really great.
Yes, thank you so much. That's all. I wanted to, include today. I just want to ask before we wrap it all up if you wanted to say anything else, or I want to ask the audience also, like, is there anyone who has like a specific question to Nick before we wrap it all up? Because if not, I just want to say thank you so much for being here with me today. And thank you so much for everyone who was attending it. I can see actually in the audience here on Discord, there is over 300 people. And there is on Twitter, which is crazy. And this is thanks to you for your team. But we actually have over 700 people listening to us on Twitter. And I know that you are using another platform for, announcing your events. So this is great, actually. I did not expect that big audience because we usually have like 100 or something on Twitter. We usually have like, more on Discord. So tell me your secrets. Like, how are you doing it?
Yeah, actually, I'm also very impressed on how many people came here to hear what we're talking about and to speak about Mellow. So yeah, actually, I'm also impressed, and I don't have any secret here. So we just made a couple announcements, and that's it.
Yeah. So people are just interested in, hearing about Mellow, getting a better sense of like what you guys are working on, and actually hearing about the alphas, which you shared quite some today. So
Yeah,
thank
I
you
think
so much.
very soon we will have some more releases. Just keep an eye on our Twitter and join the community. So also, I wanted to thank you for this event. It's really great to be here, and thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.